Hello Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising. These are your messages for December. I'm so sorry they're so late. Let's get right into it. I know you guys out of all the signs are the ones that don't like me to waffle on for too long, and I usually tend to. But the first card that we have coming up as your underlying energy is the Two of Pentacles. So what are you trying to balance at this time? What are you juggling? It can be two jobs, two kind of hobbies, two people, two things. It can be more than two things, but you know, it's the Two of Pentacles. So there's at least two things that you're trying to juggle right at this time. The Pentacles represent something of value, something that you value because it offers you stability and security. So you're doing your best right now to maintain the balance, to maintain maybe even harmony. But have a look at this guy. He's standing on top of this. It looks like a spinning top, but it's a tiny little platform thing that he's on. And he's maintaining this pose, right? And he's trying to juggle the two pentacles. Now, this is taking up a lot of effort, a lot of focus for him to do this. What is he missing while he does that? There's a seafront behind him. That sea, it represents emotions, and there are ships coming in on it. Now, maybe at this time that there's a lot going on emotionally, but you're not in a place to kind of focus on it. Some of you, there may be overwhelming emotions, and you know, you're trying your hardest to maintain balance in that situation because there's a job to do. There's a relationship to maintain. There's something that you're trying to maintain. I mean, the pentacles here, especially in the Two Pentacles, this card I always see is like the day-to-day stuff that makes our life work. And it kind of feels like you're trying really hard to stay focused on what it is that you're juggling. Now, at some point, this guy's going to have to put down at least one of these pentacles and turn around and have a look at what's happening behind him. So face those emotions, face the bigger picture, have a look at what's going on. What I'm getting from this, I will say this to you, Gemini, is that, you know, as much as it's a two, and, you know, the Two Pentacles, it can talk about business partnerships. It can talk about, you know, people that we work with to maintain the day-to-day running of our lives. As much as it talks about maintaining the balance, and Pentacles usually give us stability, right? But it's almost as if in this card, you're the one that's trying to maintain the stability. It's almost like forced. I don't feel there is true stability here, not with this rough sea behind. It doesn't feel like there's true stability, but you're doing your hardest to maintain that stability. So this is not easy. This can be a little bit overwhelming, can get very exhausting. But like I said, one of those things is going to have to get put down eventually. Like, it feels like it's too much. And that kind of message continues, and we're going to see how that plays out. But that kind of duality, and I know you guys are Gemini, right? So there's always the twins, the duality of Gemini, but it's coming up very strongly in your reading as well. So, you know, we've got that balancing act of the Two of Pentacles, but then we have coming up at the heart of your reading, the Chariot. Now, the Chariot, it's a victory card, yes, but it's victory through our own determination, through our own efforts. So when the Chariot comes up at the heart of your reading, like, the card here at the heart is all about your focus. What is it that's going on? What's the main thing at the heart of everything right now? Everything else revolves around. We're trying to achieve something, that's for sure. Now, some of you may be feeling, this can be an overwhelming feeling. Like, imagine if you're kind of hanging on to that chariot for dear life and it's kind of speeding off. It's difficult. It's difficult. And those horses represent the head and the heart. So you have to make sure both the head and the heart are going in the same direction. But there's that duality again, right? So it feels like in December, you may feel a kind of pressure for some of you. It's going to be a pressure. And maybe that's why, you know, if there is this kind of pressure to do something, to achieve something, to get moving, that's why you're doing this. Because it's like, no, can I just focus on the day-to-day for now? Like, you know, this can be a little bit overwhelming. But the Chariot, it does lead to success. You get rewards for however much determination, you know, efforts that you put in. I am going to say this to you. I think as much as there are quite a few pentacles coming up, this could very well be about a relationship. It may be now that, you know, you want to make progress, because some of you, this is going to be, you want to do this. You're working so hard to maintain that balance between your head and your heart. You want to be able to see a situation clearly. It could be work, right? But relationship, you're trying to see it clearly to make it work so you can get what you want out of it. But it's not easy. Why is it not easy? Well, coming up as the foundation card, or, you know, the past energy for your reading, we have the Five of Cups. Now, the Five of Cups, yes, you know, traditionally this is seen as a card of grief, of loss, regret, missed opportunities. And what's interesting to me about this card, in particular, like usually we see a person there's a person here, but who's looking at three cards that have, three cups rather, that have toppled over. But here, if you have a look, the cups are on some kind of a stand, almost as if they're getting ready to be carted off. Like it's almost time for them to go. And he's giving them one final look. So it feels like you've gone through, a very difficult phase. You've maybe lost friends, because the three cups here, they can represent the three of cups. So it can be you've lost your network of support. You've lost your friend, friends you may have lost, or there's a loss of something that you felt gave you emotional stability. But he hasn't, while he's looking back at these, he still doesn't notice the two cups that are standing. The two cups that are standing represent the two of cups. So this says that there's still a relationship of support there. Now, the two of cups in the tarot, it's platonic energy. It's a relationship of support. It's a connection that we have with someone. So it's saying that connection is still there. But yes, you've lost three cups. And what I always say about the five of cups, it's really easy to say, oh, get over it, turn around and have a look at the two cups. But those emotions have to be honored. So if you've gone through grief, if you feel regret, then you have to honor those emotions. You have to work through that until, you're ready to turn around from this and have a look at this. So it's understandable if you've been going through a phase of the Five of Cups that, you're maybe grieving, you're maybe feeling some kind of loss. And it can be you missed an opportunity at work. You've lost a relationship, something. Yes, then it makes sense. Of course, you're going to focus on the mundane or the little things. I say mundane, but the everyday practical things. You're going to do that because you're trying to get some stability out of this. But it's a false sense of stability. Like these are meant to be giving you stability, but you are giving them stability. Like, do you see what I mean? It's they're tied together, yes, but it's not an easy situation. And so that's why it's, you might be desperately trying to get your head and heart together, like desperately trying to move in a direction, desperately trying to move forward, but you have all those emotions coming up in the past. So then we have this kind of choice kind of scenario, or the duality scenario coming up again, with the Lovers in the present. What is going on, Gemini? So this is your card, Gemini. And again, so it's another card that talks about duality. Another one, right? We see a couple here. So we always the Lovers, it indicates a couple, and the angel that's blessing the union. That's how I always see it. So this to me is like the divine masculine, the divine feminine. But that too is like yin yang energy, right? The head and the heart. It's that kind of energy once again. Now, when they're naked, when the people are naked, especially in the Lovers card, I always see this. This is being vulnerable. This is saying, this is who I am. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. So sometimes this can relate to a relationship where there's distance between you two. And if we look here, they have their hands kind of, he has his hand reached out to her. She kind of has her hand out. So it's almost as if like you're reaching out to someone, but there's distance. So this can indicate like sometimes a long distance relationship. Like that could be a message here for someone. We've got this card sat above it. So for some of you, this is going to be a long distance relationship, right? That you're working so hard like to keep this relationship going, and that's why you're balancing this. It's the day-to-day, maybe having Skype calls, trying to make sure you're in each other's lives. But there's distance, whether you live in different countries or whether someone's away on a business trip and working abroad at the moment. There's a sense here that can be difficult. So when the Lovers comes up in the present, if it's not that, it could be work. Because what this says is this is a choice, a head or heart decision that needs to be made at this time. Now, I don't really see this card as a choice. I know a lot of people do see it as a choice, but the thing is, it's what do you love? It's the Lovers, right? What do you love? And you have to look at it in its kind of, in its bare essence. Like, what is the truth there? Who are you truly? When you're kind of naked, revealed down, without the kind of show, who are you truly? And I think you may, in December, figure that out. We've had Saturn in your 7th house leaving in a couple of weeks. So, it wouldn't surprise me if this is about relationships for all of you. And relationships can be anything, right? It doesn't have to just be love or romantic relationships. But this kind of says to me, like, this is about deciding, like, are you going to follow what you love, or are you going to let it go? Are you going to... There's no swords coming up in your reading. There's no swords coming up in your reading. So it's not like you're trying to logic yourself out of it. It's almost like with that Two of Pentacles that you're trying to embrace the practical. Like, all right, if I just do this, if I just do this, I'll just do this. Like, keep yourself busy almost. But but there is a choice that needs to be made. If it's not a choice, I mean, I do see there's a choice here. This is, are you going to go for what you love or not? That's the choice the lover says to me. And is that a choice? Is that truly a choice? Well, what we have coming up here. So this is, if this is a work reading, this is great. If this is not a work reading, this is not so great. But let's have a look. You have the Nine of Pentacles coming up as a future energy. And the Nine of Pentacles is that, you know, it's enjoying the success that you've had. You've created great abundance. Now, abundance can be anything, right? Did I say abundance? Abundance can be anything. It can be financial abundance, emotional abundance, spiritual abundance, you know, romantic abundance. Whatever abundance you've created, it's about enjoying that, enjoying it. But you have the Chariot sat above this. And the Nine of Pentacles, like, if you look at this woman, she's in her garden, right? She's enjoying this garden that she's created. And it's a lovely, safe space. The Nine of Pentacles does say that that may be a gilded cage. That can become a gilded cage. It's time to break out of that. That yes, what you've created so far, the space that you're in, it's wonderful and it's great and enjoy it. But there's a whole world outside of that garden and it's time to go exploring. And the Chariot can indicate travel. This can be moving out of your comfort zone. I think for some of you, you're being called to do something that you're not comfortable with. It's almost like, I mean, I'm surrounded by Geminis. I love Geminis. I'm an Aquarius sun, so it's one of the energies that I get on really well with. And I understand Geminis very well. I understand that kind of frenetic energy and, you know, how fast you guys go. So this is like a bit shocking when a Gemini does this. When it's like, hey, look at me, I'm juggling. And it's like, okay, what are you trying not to look at, Gemini? That's what's kind of coming up here. What is it that you don't want to see? And it's understandable. If you've gone through some kind of heartache, if you've gone through some pain, some loss, right? Some job that you didn't get, some, you know, something that you've lost, some argument that you've had with someone, friends that you've lost, a romantic relationship that you've lost. Yes. To kind of keep your sanity, to keep your emotion, like yourself emotionally together, you might be juggling those pentacles, but time's up. What do you want? What do you love? What are you going to go for? And it feels like a lot of you, it's reminding you, I mean, the good thing about the Nine of Pentacles, it's reminding you that you have a safe space. You have a safe space that you've created. But from that safe space now, because you know, like, it's your home. You know you have your home, right? So you have your home, but you can go out into the world knowing that you'll always have your home to come back to. So you have that space, safe space that you can come back to. But it is time to go out there because there's some victory, something that's calling you, some achievement that you must go for at this time. So what is the advice here? What's the advice that's coming up for you, Gemini? We look to the crowning energy for that. And you have the Page of Pentacles here. So more Pentacles energy. Now this may relate to, for example, if you have the Five of Cups sat above this, right? Something that you lost, something that, you know, hurt you emotionally, like some grief, some regret that you felt a loss here. This could be something new being offered to you. Now, when this gets offered to you, I always see I'm going to say this as a fellow air sign, so, you know, take it with a grain of salt, but when you get this Page of Pentacles, for me, it's always something like we're kind of bored with at first. Like you're thinking, that doesn't look very interesting. That doesn't look like it's much. I lost this. What is this? Like, you know, it's not. But eventually you'll see the value in it. Now, I've seen this pentacle here represent everything from an engagement ring to the contract on signing the contract on a house, signing the contract for a new job. It can be contracts. What it does say, especially if it's to do with contracts, Mercury is retrograde. Mercury, your ruler, is retrograde until, I think, the 3rd week of December. So if you can at all put it off or wait until after that, do that. Maybe that's what this is for, right? It is your card, Gemini. The Lover's card is the card for Gemini. And maybe that's what you're having to consider. That, you know, you might think you kind of love something right now, but it may be as a reaction to whatever's gone on with that Five of Cups in the past, right? With this Five of Cups in the past coming up, it may be that's why you're thinking, okay, well, you know, this is a way to get away from this pain. So there's a lot actually going on here. So let's have a look if your oracle cards can expand on that anymore. The advice here, sorry, I didn't even give you the advice, is, yeah, look at the details. This is the student paying attention to the details, having a plan, you know, what is exactly being offered to me? Is it really as valuable as it looks? It can be someone offering you, like I said, it can be, I'm not saying you're getting engaged, but you know, this might be you. The energies here, they can play out both ways. They can be your energies or the energies of someone that you're dealing with. But use this card to great effect. Like, know where your comfort zone is. Know, you know, the boundaries or limits that you have, but then know that it's also safe for you, okay for you to travel outside of that, because there are achievements to be had.